Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a bit of a fun upload. I'm going to be outlining my top 10 favorite players in the entire NBA, and I just thought that I would mix it up a little bit and have a bit of a fun video. But before I get too far into it, I would like to remind you all to leave a like and subscribe. I've been appreciating all of the support that I've been receiving lately, and I hope to see that continue. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. Also, the fact that I'm wearing a Giannis jersey might be a little bit of a spoiler. So, sorry about that. But, at number 10, we have Joe Ingles. Now, I'm a Bucks fan first, but in the Western Conference, the Jazz are my favorite team. And with that, in combination with Joe Ingles seeming like a great guy and a really fun player to watch with his passing ability, I like him quite a bit. Mostly, his character just seems to be outstanding. Every interview I've heard with him or every quote that I've read, it seems like he's just a hilarious guy. He's always engaging in some shenanigans on the court. When you hear him mic'd up during the games, he's always got some great quotes, as there's the famous exchange between him and Mike Conley where he essentially just makes fun of Mike Conley for being old for about 30 seconds. So, great guy. Also, a terrific passer for a wing and really entertaining player to watch. Terrific in the pick and roll, great at throwing lobs. I've got Joe Ingles here at number 10. At number 9, we have Tyler Herro. Now, Herro is a player that I am really biased towards because I'm a Wisconsin kid. Tyler Herro's a Wisconsin kid. I'm not quite as big of an OG as a lot of my friends are. Shout out Brady Bodart, who got a picture with Herro during Herro's sophomore year at in high school. So he was an OG fan for sure. But for me, it's just been really fun to see someone who was brought up in kind of the same area as me. He grew up less than 2 hours away, and to see him flourish as an athlete. And it's really inspiring to see someone who has kind of a similar background really succeed in life. So with that, in combination with him being a really exciting player to watch as a pure shot maker, I've got him here at number 9, and if he continues to improve, yeah, he certainly could move all the way up into the top 5 here. My 8th favorite player in the NBA is Mikhail Bridges. Now, with Bridges, I don't know anything about his character. I've never heard him talk. I don't really know what he's all about. I don't know too much about his upbringing, aside from the fact that he went to Villanova and was a champion there. But just watching him play is so fun. He just has such an entertaining style of play that makes him really entertaining to watch. On the offensive end, yeah, he's a competent shooter who can attack closeouts a little bit. Not much of a playmaker, but that's not where you get real excited about Mikhail Bridges. Where I love watching him is on the defensive end of the floor. He is just so fluid and so athletic and has such insane length that he's able to guard so many different players on the court. And just watching a player who's just got such a fun and intriguing frame like Mikhail Bridges does defend at such a high level is just really fun for me. And especially with his offensive breakout this season, he put up like a 35-point game the other night and has been putting up plenty of like 16 or 18-point efforts. Yeah, this guy is really good. I find him very fun to watch, and I think that he is one of my favorite players in the league. I've got him here at 8. At number 7, we have the first of 3 Milwaukee Bucks on this list, and that is Chris Middleton. Middleton is one of, again, similar to Bridges, just an aesthetically pleasing player to watch. He is just so smooth. It just is such a rhythm-based player, and that just is so fun to watch because once he gets in a rhythm, he's able to use his incredible footwork and ball handling skills to create open looks for himself, and he's a knockdown shooter as well. So Chris Middleton plays for my favorite team, number 1, and number 2 is just a ridiculously fun player and very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, that'll put him here in my top 10 list at number 7. At number 6, we have Nikola Jokic. Jokic is so fun to watch play because He's just a lumbering big man, and he's still able to be so successful as a player scoring the ball. I think he could probably average like 28 points per night if he really wanted to, because he's so good in the post. He has a really nice hook shot. He's able to bully mismatches and get all the way to the basket. He also is really good in the mid-range and is a pick and pop threat from the three-point line. Jokic is just an all-around skilled scorer, but the reason why he doesn't average much more than like 22 or 23 points per game most years is because he is the most gifted big man passer of all time. And watching him make the reads and make the plays that he does on the basketball court is just so entertaining, and he's just so intelligent and is clearly a very funny guy as well off the court. And the combination of all of those things just make Nikola Jokic a very endearing player and someone that it's very fun to root for. I've got him on my favorite list at number 6. At number 5, we have another superstar. I did try to mix it up and have a nice mixture of superstars and role players, but I think I ended up leaning more so towards the superstars in my top 5 or 6 here. But at number 5, we have Damien Lillard. Damien Lillard. Oh my gosh, I said those L's very strange the first time. But Dame is just so incredibly fun to watch. He's a threat to shoot the ball from anywhere on the court, essentially extending all the way out to the three-point line. He is a very good passer as well, someone who can get downhill and throw down some very entertaining dunks. But really, with Dame, the reason why I love him so much just comes back to the shot making and the intense focus that he plays with. He's always locked in. He always looks like he's fighting out there and doing what it takes to help his team win. And usually that consists of bombing away from long range. What is more fun to watch than that? Damian Lillard is outstanding. He seems like a great guy as well. And I've got him number 5 on my favorite players list. At number 4, we have Steph Curry. Curry is the player that I credit my basketball fandom with. Watching him as a middle school kid, elementary school kid, I just fell in love with his game as just a silky smooth ball handler who could shoot it from wherever and made terrific showy behind the back passes. I'll never forget the play where he was driving baseline on Chris Paul and then unleashed a flurry of dribble moves and ended up shooting a step back and broke CP3's ankles. He ended up on the ground. I was like, whoa, that Chris Paul guy is one of the best defensive guards in the league, and he just snapped his ankles. Oh, I like this guy. So Curry has just been responsible for so many highlight plays. He's been such an entertaining and exciting player throughout his time in the league and throughout my time as a basketball fan. And I'd be lying if I said that he wasn't one of my 5 favorite players in the league, and he slots in here just ahead of Damian Lillard, as he is my 4th favorite player in the NBA. At number 3, we have someone who is very near and dear to my heart, a player who I have gotten many jokes made about, as people think that for some reason I have a little bit of a thing for Donte DiVincenzo, but I don't. I just think that he's an outstanding and underrated young player. I love watching him play because he's got a bit of a bite to him, you know? He's an aggressive player, plays great defense, is a good shooter, seems like a fun guy to joke around with on the bench, and also just gives me so many great memories when I think about watching him play, dating back to his days at Villanova, that year where he was an absolute menace in the championship game against Michigan. I think he had like a 20-point half and finished with 30-plus points. I picked Villanova to win it all that year, so Donte DiVincenzo essentially won my March Madness pool for me, so I owe him a lot for that. But also just rooting for him throughout that run, watching him against Marquette, as I'm a Wisconsin kid, you know. I watched him every time that Villanova played Marquette. He was a very fun college player, and it's translated to the NBA, and I think that he's got a lot of promise, is going to continue to develop, and will be a great player someday. At number 2, we have Donovan Mitchell. As you've probably noticed, if you've been watching this channel, I have a Donovan Mitchell jersey, and I might wear it more than any other jersey that I own for the pure reason that he is just such an entertaining player to watch, and it's also a beautiful jersey with the stripes leading down as it gets darker as you go down the jersey. Like, that's just one of the best jerseys that any NBA team has made in recent years. And with that, plus it being one of my favorite players, yeah, that is awesome. And he's a great player to watch. As out of everyone on this list, he might be the best dunker, with the exception possibly of the guy I have at number 1. But he's a very high flyer, is a very showy finisher. He's a great shot maker in general, way aside from just the finishing, as he can knock down plenty of shots off the dribble and has established a pretty solid floater game for himself. Like I said before, is a great finisher. He gives good effort on defense and takes on some difficult matchups that you wouldn't expect from someone who carries the offensive load that he does. And he seems like a great person in general. He has really been one of the NBA's key leaders in the Black Lives Matter movement. I think the most outspoken players I've seen are him, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, and of course LeBron. George Hill can be in there, Sterling Brown, I could go on forever, but he seems like a great person. He's an outstanding and fun player to watch, and he's my second favorite player in the NBA. At number 1, we have Giannis. Of course. Like, I'm a Bucks fan. What Bucks fan's favorite NBA player isn't Giannis? The guy is just incredible. He is so long. Why was that the first thing I said? I don't know. He's incredible. Just as an offensive player, watching him take one dribble to go from half court to the rim, watching him take 2 steps to go from the 3-point line to the rim, watching him take off from the free throw line and throw down dunks. There is no one else like him in the league, and he's just such a special player to watch. The amount of highlights he's been responsible, whether it's jumping over Tim Hardaway Jr. on a dunk, throwing down many massive lob passes from Chris Middleton. There was one game against the Miami Heat where he threw down a terrifying dunk over a Heat defender that I was actually in attendance for, and every time I see the highlight, I'm like, yup, I was there. But, I mean, he's just such an exciting and great player, and he has a great personality, too. He is not funny. If you've ever seen any of the jokes that he tells, they are a lot of, like, dad jokes, and a lot of them fall right on their face, but the fact that he's so unfunny actually gets a lot of laughs out of me. There is a video out there of him filling DJ Wilson's car with popcorn, which is one of the funnier pranks that you could do to an NBA rookie, because just think about it, like, getting all of that out of the carpet and stuff, like, I don't even want to imagine. He's been a great representative of Milwaukee and Wisconsin as a whole. He's committed to being here long term, and he loves being in the state. And we love him here, and we're going to support him throughout his career no matter what happens. And I'm confident that he's going to lead this team to a championship one day. So fear the deer, and Giannis is my number 1 favorite player. Let me know in the comments section down below who your favorite players in the NBA are. Are there any players on my list that you absolutely can't stand? Let me know. Leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. That's going to be it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all again very soon.